Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I am joined by Angel and Eric.
Cassandra.
Sheila.
I saw last minute you changed your name, Angel. I was like, wait, what happened?
I did.
Good job. Good job.
Trying to confuse me. Not a hard thing to do. Today we are back covering more of Sheila Carter's beginnings on Y&R. We watched about 7 episodes more worth of clips, which takes us into September now of 1990. So we're closing in on almost the 4 episodes. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get into it. So, excuse me. So 1990 must have been when Y&R was beefing up their African-American cast. Because it feels like Olivia is new.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It has a lot to do with generations.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yep.
Wow.
I know Drew came on in 1990 also.
Mamie's been on since the early 80s.
Mhm.
So Olivia and Drew are basically, not basically, they are the
Her nieces.
her nieces.
Yeah. So they were just expanding Mimi's family pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did have black characters in the 80s, but we're just not going to talk about that.
Nate is there.
Yeah, Nathan Purdy from When I Was to Live.
So Neil wasn't on yet, right?
Hank.
No, Neil was still in Generations at that point.
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was there before Neil.
Yeah, I found that out when they were doing the things over the COVID, like when they were showing the special episodes. They showed, I think, Drew's first one or something like that, and she was on. Yeah, she came on. I forget, she was like working. She even was working with Victor, I think, before Neil was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's how Neil was introduced, because she runs.
She was a model. She was a model for Victor's whatever fashion thing they were doing. I don't know. I don't even know what they do anymore.
I watched a few of her earlier episodes, and she had like a crush on Nate, and there was something about, I don't know if she had a passion for dance, but she was like taking like ballerina lessons.
I think that had a lot to do with, I think Victoria Rao was about ballerina at some point. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that stuff. I missed some of that.
Yeah, they tried to make Lily a ballerina or something about dancing, but it didn't really work out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was like a callback to that, kind of?
It was a callback to that, but like they didn't really did much with it.
Oh, okay. Well, so I bring up all this because we open with Scott, and he's talking to Olivia and kind of welcoming her to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And he invites her out to dinner with Lauren, and that's when Nate walks up and he says, oh, let's make it a foursome. So the 4 of them get together for dinner. Not sure what restaurant. I don't know if that was like a regular restaurant that was used on the show. But Nate and Olivia are being very lovey-dovey, and Scott and Lauren are kind of in an awkward place because of the whole miscarriage. They're not really communicating. Laura's, fantasizing about Paul.
Not to say that things aren't going to go perfectly for Neil, Nate and Olivia. So
Scott just keeps asking, like, what's wrong? And she's like, I don't know. I can't explain it. And I'm like, you're hot in the ass. That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
We get a lot of like lovey scenes between them. Like, he's like, whatever you need, I'm here for you. He's like, I just want to work on our marriage. And we get little tidbits of Sheila like hearing these conversations and lurking and making faces in the background.
Yeah.
We see Lauren then gets a checkup from Olivia, and Olivia's like, oh, I had a lot of fun having dinner with you guys the night before. Sheila kind of walks in and is like,
yeah, so at this point I don't even think Sheila spoke to Lauren, did she? As far as we've seen? Or did she when she was helping her?
The very first time
Right.
like because she was having a miscarriage.
Having a
That's
miscarriage.
when they spoke.
Yeah.
So, but
And
not
even when,
about anything other than like, I need a doctor.
So I guess Sheila's just hardcore crushing on Scott and will just be like, well, I want this man and that girl's in my way, so gotta do what I gotta do.
Even when, like, the last time we watched, when Scott was late to his birthday party because he was with Sheila, he just said that he went out for a drink with a nurse. He didn't name her. And that's when Lauren was like, you went out for a drink at 6 o'clock and you've been having a drink all night.
While she has sex fantasies of Paul.
Right.
Right.
So then,
Paul.
like I said, this was only 7 episodes, but it spanned about two and a half months. Things happened that we obviously missed.
Yeah.
At some point, she must have confessed to Scott that she thinks she might be having feelings for Paul. And I'm sure when she first told him, he was like, I knew it. Like, he was there when you had your miscarriage. Like, I'm sure that came up at some point.
Yeah, because she told Cassandra that she was separated, right, from Scott.
So Cassandra's the blonde. Can we just get that out of the way?
Yeah, Cassandra's blonde.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, I thought Tracy Bergman dyed her hair, and I was like, oh, they're sleeping together now.
I thought it was Ashley. I thought it was the Ashley recast from the 90s. Honestly,
I don't think Ashley ever slept with Paul.
That's what
as far as I know.
That's why I was very confused until they said her actual name, which I forgot. Obviously, I was like,
Cassandra Rollins. She's such a great character.
I thought it was Lauren too at first, and I was confused, and I was like, oh, okay.
So Scott thinks that maybe they should separate for 30 days and kind of so she could work out how she's feeling and see if she wants to stay in this marriage. Which in a way I feel like he's kind of giving her all the power in this situation.
Yeah.
But Lauren's upset, but she kind of runs with it. She kind of runs straight to Paul, like, I'm free, we can fuck.
Let me go run to Paul and get some Paul dick from him.
I laugh now knowing that his assistant has a crush on him.
Yes.
When he like complimented her and he was like, oh, let's get out of here early and go to like dinner and a movie. And she was like, oh my God, I'm going on the date with him.
Well, we established that the last time. That's why she's not right. She's
said that. Now I'm reading the scenes different.
Yeah. And we must say Cassandra was in bed with him, so I didn't know who this woman was, so I looked her up, of course. And she does it sounds like a fun storyline, all of that stuff that she did. She was only on for 3 years too. So she did a lot in 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, I think she was with Brad too.
Brad was
she
everybody.
So real quick, I'll tell you what I found. She was hired by Paul to redecorate his place and his office.
Okay.
There was a little bit of mystery behind her. They didn't really know. There was like some things coming out about her. She ended up being married to this George Rollins person who was around only for like a few episodes, I think. And he was dying of some disease and framed Paul for his murder because Paul ended up having an affair with Cassandra while she was married. And at one point, Paul and what's that?
So she lied because when Lauren found them together, she said, "I'm free." She's like, "You're separated from your husband." Like, so she wasn't.
Well, this was so we're watching 1990. This was 88 though, when she first came on. Yeah, so by then George was dead already, and she already had married another person, and was away from that person at that point. An Adrian Hunter. I never heard of that person.
That name rings a bell, but I don't know. It rings a bell for some reason.
And apparently, Victor and Paul thought she was the Black Widow killer.
Ooh.
I guess so. I know. I'm like, this sounds fun. And then, yeah, she was with Brad for her last year there. And that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun.
I just thought she was just like a random girl at first. And then I was like, does she stick around a while? Like, do we ever mention her? But 3 years? I guess not.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing like 88 or 89 episodes, so I probably didn't know who she was till now.
I think they brought her up on Daytime Confidential, like it was something, and then I think I remember seeing her like with Paul.
Okay. I laughed when we saw Paul in bed shirtless because I just kept thinking of Angel last week and like Paul could get it. It was like now he's shirtless.
He can get it.
Yeah, and did we not allude to a threesome?
That I wanted to bring up. Like he had his arms around her.
So prior to this scene,
he wanted it.
Lauren goes to his office and tells him what's going on, and he's like kind of side blinded by this information. He's like, whoa. He's like, you're just like, I'm just trying to process all of this because it's almost like she's like, we could be together. We could find out like our feelings. And he's like, I don't really know if I have feelings. Like, I'll always care about you, but like, and she's like, I love you.
He likes being single.
Yeah. But then she must have left town for a few weeks and she came back and she mentioned that she left him a message on his answering machine telling him that she came back and was bringing groceries and was going to cook dinner. Now, when he said he didn't get it or there was no message, I thought maybe his secretary deleted it, but they alluded that maybe Cassandra deleted it.
I'm thinking Cassandra did.
You did? Yeah. Okay. Because that's where my mind went first.
Sheila, but then I was like,
secretary was like, nope, not doing this.
I was thinking Sheila, but then I was like, nah, that'd be too that would. The way that Sheila's placed in the storyline right now, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Sheila kind of already did that last time. She didn't give Scott the note to meet Lauren at the restaurant for his birthday surprise. And then she made him have drinks with her and take her home, and that's when he left. And she was like, "I love you so much."
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, well, we'll get to that. So. Back to, I guess, Cassandra, Paul, and Lauren. Lauren's claws came out right away, and I thought about the last time when Paul was like, Lauren doesn't have a lot of girlfriends.
Yep.
She tends to like surround herself with men.
It was a fun exchange between the two.
I laughed. I was like, well, I was like, good for you. Like, because she was like, oh, there's enough food for the three of us. She's like, but she needs to put on clothes.
Yeah. That was funny.
So, yeah, that was a fun scene.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where Scott's staying. They made it sound like there's like these hospital like quarters for doctors to live in.
That's what I'm thinking. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was either.
I could have been a doctor and had could have lived in the hospital.
It looked like it's just like a twin size bed, honestly.
I'm wondering if the hospital is connected with like a university.
Oh, maybe.
And it's a teaching hospital, and that's why we're doing that. But we all know why we're doing that. I mean, we're gonna get to it, but
we used to have an intern suite at the hospital I work at, but I don't know what happens anymore. I don't think they stay there anymore, but they used to. They used to have a part of the hospital where they would stay.
I remember seeing. I don't watch Grey's, but I watched it like the first couple of seasons. I remember them having like cots that they would sleep in between shifts, and that was
the on-call room.
Yeah,
yeah,
like on Port Charles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True.
It's true. It's true.
They're real.
They're real.
So Scott is at the hospital and he's kind of out of it doing rounds with Olivia. Now, I don't know if she is, what do they call it? A resident, and he's just kind of like seeing over her, like to make sure everything's okay. But she's like, oh, you're kind of out of it today. And he's like, yeah, you kind of had to take the reins on this. And he explains that him and Lauren are taking 30 days off. And Sheila's lurking in the background. And I have to say, Kimberly Brown's makeup was really good in this scene. Plus is popping. I like it.
Yeah.
I guess they end up wherever he's staying in the hospital that we just discussed. and they're having dirty martinis, and I was like, I love olives. I love dirty martinis.
Ew, I hate olives. Blech.
If you had a martini, I don't know. 3 different
I'm a
reactions.
caramel.
Same thing.
I'm a caramel apple teeny guy.
Oh, I don't like sweet drinks. I get a sugar.
I
It's
love
not.
sweet drinks.
I get a sugar
It's
hangover.
apple. It's sweet. It's sweet and sour, kind of.
I had a bad experience with apple flavored drinks in my 20s.
I think we all have
good.
bad experiences with drinks in our 20s. So.
Yeah, I did too. With caramel apple teenies. But I still like them.
Mine was Red Bull.
I did used to
Oh,
drink appletinis, but I don't think they were caramel. They were just straight up appletinis.
yeah.
So it was bad.
They're good.
So she makes some martinis, and she says that there's like special herbs in it. I'm like, don't put herbs in martinis. Like maybe you put like pills to make him pass out.
Yep.
Which
So I
is
thought,
what happened.
because I watched this twice. I thought when she came into the room when Lauren was being examined that she was stealing pills to do this. But it didn't really track on the second watch, and I'm like, okay. I'm just always looking for like the most devious thing that Sheila could do.
So I thought it was kind of funny that she was this devious this early on, because I feel like at this point she could have maybe like tried to seduce him because he was in a vulnerable state, but she didn't even think of that. She's just like, oh, pills. I'll just drug them. Get what I want right now.
I didn't know how they got like sexually involved either. I thought she was going to seduce him. So when they were taking this break, I thought that too.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, she raped him. She did this before Sammy Brady. Sammy Brady pulled a Sheila.
Yeah, right. Sheila was first with the rape.
Yeah, so he gets dizzy, and she's like, oh, maybe you've had enough. I'm like, it looks like he took one sip. It was still like a full glass.
It was potent.
I guess so.
And he lays down on his twin size bed. You just see like Sheila's feet and legs, so she's obviously getting naked, and he's kind of out of it, and he just keeps saying, Lauren, is that you, Lauren? And she's like, yes, it's me, Sky. So she's pretending to be Lauren. Which also, I think Sammy pretended to be Carrie, if I remember correctly.
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
And she gets into bed with him, and they start kissing. So one can assume that they have sex.
Mm-hmm.
Or she raped him.
Well, yeah.
She did.
Unconsented sex.
Unconsented sex in 19 of the 90.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how like frequent this happened on TV, and nobody thought.
Yeah, right.
It was bad.
I know that was.
It was just a plot device people use all the time.
Well, it might not have been that frequent. It was probably spaced out well between. But yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't believe that we were already up to this kind of like conniving, and now they're sleeping together. Well, she's sleeping with him.
It makes me wonder what Sheila was doing before she became a nurse. What is this? General City Hospital? I forgot the name of the hospital. Is
it like University or something? Like I feel like a lot of soaps just call it.
Days is University. I know that, but
yeah.
I forgot what Genoa City's hospital is called. I don't know.
I kind of forget too. I don't know if they ever say.
I don't know if they ever named it.
That'd be weird.
They probably did.
But so, what did you guys think of these clips? Do you feel like they flowed pretty well? I almost feel like it doesn't even seem like we missed that much.
No, it doesn't.
And I feel like it's probably because we all know YNR used to be really slower paced back then. So it's kind of working in our favor, I guess.
Yeah.
These spotty clips.
Yeah.
I did notice when I was like editing it, that Jack and Nikki were together at this point. And Victoria,
I like Jack. I like Jack and Nikki together.
I do too.
Did you see the episode with Jack and Nikki that aired recently?
Yes. That was a little uncalled for.
Clips, but yeah.
It was literally the whole entire episode of just Jack and Nikki getting drunk. Or Jack was getting drunk to be equal with Nikki, and it was all right.
So Jack fell off the wagon? Or
He did it for Nikki. Yeah.
For Nikki, yeah.
They better play those beats, because if he drank for Nikki, he should have a problem going forward drinking, because now he's off the wagon.
It might lead to that. That was just last week before I went away. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure it'll lead to that, and it's also causing him problems with Diane and giving her problems with Victor. So it's
and then Victor
really,
came to the house. Victor came to the house, to Jack's house, and was like, "Do not, I repeat, do not,
yeah,
stay away from my wife." You got that?
Do you guys follow Jonathan on Twitter? SoapWiki John.
Yeah, he's the reason why I'm a podcaster. Well, his name is Casey.
So he like posted like a promo from Bold, and I was like cracking up because he's like I like 10-toed Sheila better or something like that.
No.
Oh, I did see that.
No. I posted the promo from Bold, and he quote tweeted it. Yeah,
okay.
and then he said like 10-toed
Oh, okay.
Which I stand by that. Thank you, Jonathan, for the honesty, because I stand by that. Sheila slapped the shit out of James.
I'm just getting to that last night. I think Sheila or Steffi went and confronted Sheila and stuff, and I'm like, Steffi that wasn't right.
I'm not watching
I was tweeting,
show, but I saw a clip somebody posted on Twitter, and it was like Sheila hiding under the sheet, and she scared the shit out of Lee. And then
nice.
I'll kill you. And she was playing all like scared and like smirking, and I was like, there she is.
There she is. There's the Sheila.
It was just so like, it's so campy now with the 90s.
I think the Sheila stuff's probably the best stuff right now on there on Bold.
But it seems like people aren't really loving it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I just see people complaining about it.
People always complain about when Sheila comes back. They did the last time too, and whatever.
Well, the first time she came back after a long, I love that when she came back.
Me too.
When it had Katie like looking through the the telescope
at Quinn.
That was I didn't expect that. That was good.
Yeah, that was good because but then that's when they phased her out and she got a job at the restaurant and never showed her again.
I hated that because basically they like she was doing stupid stuff to get Quinn away from Eric.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're out having work at the restaurant, which that could have.
Well, what was the purpose? Was she trying to get back together with Eric?
That was the purpose. Yeah, that was the purpose.
Yeah.
I thought she was like so far like over Eric, like because that was like her first relationship on Bold.
I'm guessing because Kimberlyn Brown, you know, she does like avocados and and she's actually a Republican Party candidate. I'm guessing that played a part in why they kind of phased her out.
I remember hearing that she was like trying to run for office or something.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But speaking of her first scene back then, I remember Katie didn't know who she was because she wasn't on the show when Sheila was.
Yep.
And when she found out who she was, she like picked up a fire poker, and Sheila, unwavering, was like, "Put the poker down." Like, I will kill you. Put the poker down.
I like anytime Kimberlyn's on, I like it. She's like
I love Kimberlyn Brown.
She's a great actress.
Me too.
On Poor Charles, and I was like so happy to see her.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she pops up in the arcs. In Tainted Love.
Yeah, but she's not crazy, so you might be like confused.
She's crazy on Poor Charles. You just got to go before the arcs. That's how she has a lot to do with Livy's story. Like she basically kept Livy from Kevin.
Wasn't she not Livy's mother? Wasn't she like her aunt?
She was her aunt. Yep. She kept it because her sister died, and then she took Livy. Well, she adopted Livy, but then she kept her from Kevin for all these years.
Yeah, and like her end on that show was pretty much Sheila-esque. She went crazy, tried to kill Lucy, had her tied up.
Crazy. Yeah, I think she has Down syndrome, and they never took her out of it because at that point she was back on Bold.
Oh, right. With the militia.
With the militia, yeah.
Yeah, Kimberly's been on every soap except GH.
I don't really want to talk about it because it's so ridiculous, but I have questions. So last time we talked about this, you said the militia was only on Bold, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Lauren came back to Bold recently. When they thought she was dead, when they thought Sheila was dead.
Yeah, she did.
How does she know about Sugar if it was only on Bold?
Wasn't Sugar? Didn't they retcon, Eric, that Sugar was
The Phyllis lookalike?
Sheila, the Phyllis lookalike?
I don't know. That's why
I didn't watch it yet, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I feel like I heard around that the Sugar was Fila, which is Phyllis. Sheila.
I'm at the end of February, so Sheila's not even dead yet. For
I
me.
know that we're supposed to suspend disbelief as a fan, but sometimes I'm just like, they just get so contrived. You're just like, whatever.
Okay.
If you say so.
Yeah, because I'm writing a play. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm writing a play. So, and I'm trying,
nice.
but it's like a 10-minute play, which is like 10 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that I'm thinking in this play is like, okay, is this realistic for the characters at this moment? It's only 2 people at this moment. So as I'm writing the dialogue, I'm just like, okay, I need to maybe not be as ridiculous as a soap opera.
Nah, well, some people like it. I like it. I'm cool with it.
I get a kick out of it. But I guess if you're watching it every day, it gets tiring. Me, I'm just seeing clips and enjoying the clips. So
yeah, that's how I'm watching current soaps, because I watched three classic soap operas for this podcast. So
and I watched 24.
Wait, 4. It's 4 now. It's 4 now. I keep forgetting about Port Charles.
We're moving you on up.
But wow, we kind of jumped all over. We talked about like current Sheila, past Sheila, early 2000s.
All the Sheilas.
All the Sheilas. We
But
didn't
you
even
guys
talk about our kids.
I can't even try to make sense of that.
We don't. Yeah.
But do you guys have anything else to add about these clips that we watched?
No, it was fun. I think that Lauren and Paul have great chemistry.
They do.
That's what I found out from these.
So it's Paul.
Yeah.
I think
I like that. I would have been about the throuple back then.
Oh, that would have been great.
Just them two fighting all the time. And then they all bang at night.
I think I was watching like 2000, 2001, and it was around the time Eva Longoria was on, but she wasn't with Paul yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Lauren and Paul were kind of playing with getting back together at that point, because there were some scenes where they were kind of romantic. And I didn't remember that because I was kind of watching back then.
Well, also remember that if this was the time, I think it was, there was like a consent storyline with Cricket and Paul that led to here we go with the consent again. That led to Laura Lee Bell. Okay, Laura Lee Bell leaving for maternity leave.
Okay.
So because I remember reading about it in I think it was Weekly.
Oh, okay.
I only fast forwarded to Eileen Davidson scenes back then.
I used
from 99 to 2004.
I used to fast forward to just JT and Colleen scenes.
I was all about Glow by Jabot.
I was about the teens. Because I wanted something that was like my Last Blast crew on days.
Hey, Sony the best.
Yeah.
But all right, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I guess we can wrap this up. All right, well, thank you for joining us for our very spotty coverage of Sheila Carter. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.